Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Gimpy, and we are here again with the next part of my coverage of Warfighter by DVG. Gotta say, I love DVG. They do some awesome games, and they have some seriously good customer service. I have never seen a company that responds as often and as quickly. I mean, any comment I have ever made, on Facebook or messaged them, they have gotten back to me, instantly as far as that's concerned. I mean, they really are jamming on the spot with that shit. So I know I appreciate it as many others do. So I always try to toss them a, good job whenever I can. Anyway, let's take and get cracking here at it. I wanted to show you guys a few things before we got going on it. Since this is just the base game that I'm covering in this video series, I wanted to show you some of the other stuff that you can see. This is some of the cards that come in some of the other expansion packs, and these are the equipment cards, not weapon cards, but stuff like your ACOGs and things of that nature. I don't have the files for these, so bear with me as I kind of hold them up to the camera. This is one of the ones I was talking about in the previous video that I really love to use. 3 loadout points, resource points, and it's the body armor. All right, I'm sure this is the one that's got sappy plates in it. I don't know if you guys have ever worn it. If you haven't, body armor like this with sappy plates in it is heavy as hell. I mean, those ceramic plates weigh a ton, and then you got a couple of them in there, front and back. Then on top of that, you got your camelback, your water. Then you got your ammo. Then you got your grenades. Then you got your first aid kit. And you got your tools. And you got your K-bar. And speaking of which, I love how they have K-bars in this game, because I actually got mine out to show you guys. This is my baby. I love this thing. If you collect knives and you want a good knife, nobody makes a better knife than K-bar. See right there, USMC. Make it special for the Marines. Got our EGA right there on it. This one's definitely seen some use. You can bust anything with this thing. I mean, it's heavy, it's sharp, it's great. These knives will last through everything. I've been collecting these for a while, actually. What really bothers me, though, is the one that I carried with me on my first tour was stolen from me when we purchased a new car many years back. And long story on how it got stolen, but I ended up replacing it with this one. That just, why would you steal someone's K-bar? It's like, come on, seriously? Anyway, you can see here with the body armor, you roll when you take a wound or suppression. On 1 to 4, nothing happens. On a 5 to 10, it's going to stop one wound or a suppress. This is seriously nice. Or you can discard it and just suffer no effect from the attack. Limit 1 armor per soldier, but I mean, that just makes sense. ACOG, you guys have seen. Knee pads, I think, are in the base game. Molly gear, it adds to your soldiers' loadout value, so you can carry more gear, obviously. Red dot sight, that increases your chance to defeat cover rolls. This is a neat thing, this little helicopter. You can kill up to 3 hostiles in a hostile card with explosion attacks. You don't get any XP for doing it, it's like an instant kill. You ignore screening limitations, can be used 1 time during a mission. So it's a 3-point gotcha card, kind of. So that's neat. Helmets, a ghillie suit. Come on, it's a ghillie suit. You gotta love that. MREs, which have improved. Anyone who's served, I mean, back in the day you had, K rations, C rations. At least you guys, you old farts, you guys got cigarettes. They didn't give us cigarettes. They made us buy them, ourselves, and then you were lucky if you got a chance to buy them. I remember my first tour overseas, you couldn't find cigarettes. I mean, people were buying a pack of cigarettes for $20, $30. And the locals at first would sell us a carton of smokes for $1 because, American dollar went a long way. But then some idiots in the next camp over, the Marine camp, we knew enough to keep our mouth shut. The soldiers next door to us were like, oh yeah, we'll pay $20, $30 a carton, and jack the prices up on this little butt heads. But MREs have improved. The beef ravioli was my favorite. You had the potato sticks were kind of like potato chips, and the brownie, peanut butter, the thick bread that you can build a house with because it's like a brick. And trust me, your stomach actually takes a while to get used to eating this stuff. Like, your stomach will be upset for about a week when you switch to eating MREs, because it's so dense. It is like food squished in with nutrients and all that crap, and it's got a shelf life of you should live that long. But honestly, they've improved it over time. They're no longer giving people the 5 fingers of death, which is the hot dogs, and what was the other one? The burrito. That thing, you had to coat that thing in Tabasco sauce to eat that. High speed, low drag, sunglasses. You got laser sights, foregrips, shotgun, flashbang, smoke grenades, scopes, breaching charts, suppressors, and then camel pack, hydration pack, dual mags, and then towards the back, some of the expansions you can see add night missions to it. So you've got night optics and how they affect the game. So a lot of just real cool high speed, low drag type stuff that you can add into your game. You definitely want to get these if you can. Like I was saying, it's a real Pokemon type thing. You want to collect everything. This whole stack is a whole bunch of weapon cards. I'm not going to go through them all. Just wanted to show you guys some of them real quick. M1911. I need to get one of those. I don't have one. M16, 203. You've seen that. There's a grenade launcher, sniper rifle, 24 sniper rifle, Claymore, AK-47, and you can see with the nationality cards up there, the flags, that this is where it comes into what nation soldiers you're using for what different missions, and you have to use their gear with it, like machine guns, shotguns, VSS carbine, which I like using that in what was that game, PUBG, PP-19, suppressed pistols, more sniper rifles, just so much cool stuff. Grenade launchers, I guess their version of the thump gun. Let's see, what is this? RGO grenade. Interesting, never used one of those. Claymore, landmine, rocket launchers. And this is, DVG kind of got you on it though, because when you get the Warfighter pack, a lot of the counters in it, the ammo counters, the weapons that use those ammo counters aren't in it. They come with the expansion. So you've already got the ammo counters for later, when you get the expansions. But you're looking at these little rocket counters and you're like, I want the rocket. So then you go ahead and you get that. Some more submachine guns with suppressors. And see, this is what I was talking about where I was kind of hurting a little bit because I wanted to use some of these things. When I'm playing this game, I like to use the SCAR. That's one of my favorite type weapons to use. M249 machine gun. I carried one of those when I was overseas as well. The thing's heavier than it looks. Ooh, AA-12 shotgun, very nice. Let's see, some more weapons. Munitions. A4, M16, never carried one of those. So you see what I'm saying, like the first just base game itself, you don't quite have enough weapon cards, I think, in my opinion. But once you get a couple of expansions, you've got weapon cards out the butt. You have everything you could possibly need, more cards than you're ever going to use. Ooh, I like this one too. I hate kind of showing this because I'm like, no, I want to switch out my loadout. I want these things. SCAR rifle with a grenade launcher attached to it. I like that one. That's a good one to use. The M3 Gustav. Never used that before. We had the, oh crap, I can't remember the name of it. The fire and drop it rocket. What the hell? I'll have to figure it. Remember it. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Now, they have these in here, but from what I've heard and read about, the British soldiers didn't like these too much. The bullpup design just didn't work too well, and evidently this rifle was just not well designed to begin with, and they've had a lot of effort trying to fix it, but it just hasn't worked very well. Some more pistols, submachine guns. You guys can see, I mean, there's just a buttload of awesome sauce crap. So absolutely get the expansion packs. You definitely want to have all this stuff for your games just to play with it. That's a good rifle too. See, because some of these have penetration just naturally in them, which will help you defeat the cover rolls when you're attacking the enemy, which is great. I mean, this you can see kill numbers of 7 and 8. That's very similar to what? Yep, the M16A2. The reload number's worse, being a 3, but Your auto, you've got 3 dice instead of burst of 2. You've got rail, so you can add stuff to it, and ingrain penetration, and it doesn't jam. So I mean, that's a great thing to have. I don't play with the jam rule anyway, so I'm not horribly worried about it. M14, some other cool stuff there, but I just wanted to show you guys some of the extra things that you can get in the expansions. That it's absolutely worth it, especially when you have an extra theater, the European theater, and the guys that the enemies that come with it, and the locations and everything. Definitely check that out. All right, so let's get ready to get started here. Before we do, I'm going to take and pan the camera over and run down the turn sequence and the attack sequence, because right here is pretty much all we've got to see. Again, my starting mission card, objective card is all right here. The enemies are going to be up this way, so I'm not going to have the camera on the right side of the board, but the right side of the board happens to be where the turn sequence is, so you guys aren't going to see that unless I pan over there. Give me just a second. Alright, as you can see, it's your usual DVG affair. Everything's right here on the board, easy peasy. Turn sequence, and then your attack sequence, and then over here is your reminder for your attacks on if they'll succeed, suppress, kill, whatever it is. Basically, you have to succeed at both hit and cover roll to kill. If you succeed at one or the other, you're going to suppress, and if you fail at both, you're going to miss, and that's going to apply to you and the hostiles. Your turn sequence is going to start with your soldiers, and you're going to take and do these actions in any order that you would like, as many times as you have action counters, actions remaining. So you have the ability to attack, do an action card, which is, playing a card, reload, discard and draw. So you would discard any number of cards you want and draw up back to your hand size. Again, that's going to be your health. Right now my health is 6 on both of my guys that can carry cards, so I have a total of 12 cards that I can use. Also, keep in mind when you're starting off, I'll mention again when we flip back over, but you want to mulligan it if you don't get a location card, because you have to start off with a location card in your hand for your first one. You can move or remove one suppress. When I first started playing this game, I thought that your guys can only have one suppression on them, but I was actually wrong about that. They can have any number of suppression markers on it, which, I mean, I can see it both ways, but, in real life, when they're shooting at you, it's not like you're going to be, you're going to duck down and put your head in the ground, but I'm not going to have my head any more in the ground if I have multiple suppression counters on me. That one, if you get in a bad situation, can kind of burn you if you have your guys with a whole bunch of suppression counters on them, because then you have to spend all your actions to remove the counters, and then they're just going to keep shooting you up. But we'll see how that plays. And then it lists down your hostile turn right here, the reinforcement draw, which we'll go into specifically when we get the game going. They attack, they're going to close range if they can attack, which means move up on you. Remove suppression counters that you put onto them, and then advance your mission timer there at the end. Your attack sequence is listed down here, and it's a good thing, especially when you're first playing the game, and I need to make sure and do this because there's a step here I always forget. You're going to declare your fire mode, single, or should I say semi, burst, auto, roll your dice, check for reload, and that right there for me, I'm telling you now, all right, right now, I'm going to forget it. I'm going to miss a reload. It's going to happen. I'm going to roll the reload and forget that I'm supposed to reload. For some reason, I'm sure you guys have experienced it before, some aspect of a game just will not stick with you no matter what. For me, it's the reload in this game. I will miss it every time, even though I'm like trying to remember it. It's kind of like spotting and lock and load tactical. I always forget that one. You apply your modifiers after that, which is going to be your ACOG or your marksmanship skills, things like that. Check to defeat the cover, resolve the attack, whether or not it's no effect, suppression, kill. And then the hostiles is pretty much the same, with the exception that you have the ability to play action cards during the hostile turn. Some action cards will let you play it during the hostile's turn, and they'll say it on the card. All right, let's pan back over to the main board. Alright, we're going to get started here on our first turn. Now, I've gone ahead and drawn my cards for my 2 player soldiers Baker and I want to say this is Stevens. All right, so they each have a health of 6, so they've each got 6 cards. Baker started out with this little hand of cards. Good thing he got a location marker card, so I can use this to draw a location, which I've got my locations just hanging out up here face down, and we'll just draw from the top of that. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, I've got my bowl sitting up there, my little handy dandy crappy bowl here. You have these little target counters, which you can see I've neatly clipped and rounded with my Oregon lemonade rounder. Love that thing. These are what decides what hostiles attack which ones of your forces. So when you draw a hostile out, you're going to take and draw one of these, and you're going to set it on whatever guy. So I've got my guys 1, 2, 3. So I've got 1, 2, 3 in the bowl here. I think it goes up to 8 on the counters for the number of guys that you can have. Neat little system, but you'll see how this works here in just a second. All right, but I've got my cards, and there was one I was wanting to show you that does it. Okay, here we go. This suppress card, I should be able to find it and throw it up on the screen for you. But this is one that you could play during a hostile turn. You can see play after you, any soldier rolls and when they're saying you and they put any soldier there in parentheses, they're meaning like you, the player. You know what I'm saying? Rolls for a hostile card's attack. You can discard 1 ammo from a weapon or expendable. The Expendables. I love those movies. They can attack the hostile and it cancels the attack. All right, so basically you're putting rounds down range to get him to put his head down instead of shooting at you. Some weapons have this ability built in. It's not called suppress, it's called self-defense. The M9 pistol that my one of my guys, Foster, is carrying has that. He can take and discard a counter from it and cancel the attack. Unfortunately, that weapon only comes with 2 counters, so you can't do it very much. Actually, let me read that and make sure it reads just the same way. On the back of your instruction booklet, there is a list of keywords that you're going to find on all the cards and things like that. So things like self-defense, which is right here in the top, it goes over. Weapons with this trait can be used to cancel range 0 hostile attacks targeting your soldier. Alright, so it can only be range 0. Including range 0 all attacks that affect your soldier. You can only use self-defense once each hostile attack step, even if you have more than 1 self-defense weapon. Self-defense cannot be used to cancel attacks from vehicles or aircraft. Why not? Come on, I could see Rambo using an M9 pistol to take down a helicopter. Use self-defense after you roll for a hostile card's range 0 attack against your soldier. Discard 1 ammo from the self-defense weapon if it can attack and cancel the hostile's attack. So that's what I was talking about. The pistol has that the ability built in, which is nice, but it's nice to have the card for it. Okay, so we have started out on high impact. That's our first location card. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is play a location card itself, okay? We're going to want to play the card so we can get some guys on the board to shoot at and kill. Let's see. We'll take and... who do I want to use for it? Who's going to be my better shot? Well, I'll tell you what. I will have Stevens play his location card. We'll set it up here, a little face up, to know that it's done, and we will randomly draw a location. Grab one off the top here. This is choke point. Oh, one more thing I meant to mention. You're gonna find, notice this when I was editing the previous video, you're gonna find that some of my images are a touch off from some of the cards. That's because some of these cards have been updated in the expansion packs. They updated some of the base cards, so it might be a little different. For example, the objective here went a little bit higher on the hostile value than it did on the image that I showed you, but they should all be relatively close. All right, so choke point here is a reinforced 0, so that's good. Entrance cost is only 2, it's not bad. 1 action to play, which we're spending now. Let me make sure I do it. Bam. Here we go. Used. Nature soldiers cannot move out of this location if there are hostiles on this card. No. Well, that's not bad. I kill everybody anyway. All right, and let's see, hostiles. Where am I? 50 to 74 is 6. All right, so our number is 6, and that's the value that we have to draw for this card's location. So first hostile is 1, a drug runner. He's nothing, just random guy there. 3 or under, he's a miss. 4 to 7 is 1 wound. 8 or better is 1 wound all, but he's only range 0. So hopefully I can kill him before he gets close to me, because 1 wound all is bad. All right, now you see that he was worth 1 point. These smugglers are worth 3. We're trying to get up to 6, so we need 2 more points. This is 3 guys, and depending on how many you have killed or suppressed will affect what they're doing. So we need to try to take those guys out rather quick as well. And okay, good, this worked out pretty well. Wind drawn, place in the frontmost soldier's location. So he is going to go, let's see where we're going to put him. Let's just put him right here. We'll just put him on top of the action deck because he's actually going into high impact. He's going to be on us. Not cool. He attacks at range 0 and he can do a lot of damage. So this was our first action. You can see 1 plus 3 plus 2 is 6. We hit our hostile value. We can stop at this point. And now we still have actions left to play. Obviously we want to take and at least suppress these guys. And the thing is you have to find that good balance between taking the enemy out and moving forward, because you can't just sit there and hang out on a card and kill everybody and then try to move on. It doesn't work that way. You have to take and move quick enough that you don't run out of time. I think we've got enough time to push this one through, but I will admit that I tend to be a little overly cautious on it. Okay, I'm thinking, because these guys scare me. I don't like them, but I don't like this guy either. I'm almost thinking of using one of my 40 mics, because who doesn't love a 40 mic? A grenade the size of a soda can that can blow somebody up. I don't know if I told you guys this story before. I can't remember. It's still one of my favorites. Is 2 dumb Marines I heard about, who one of them wanted the cover, the little cap on the 40mm grenade for souvenir or necklace or something like that. So he put it between his legs and was having another Marine, he was going to have him hit it to try to knock the cap off of it. A weapon that is impact detonation, he was going to hit with a hammer, or have his buddy hit it with a hammer while it was between his legs. This is why we had the saying in the Marines of Marine proof, because we could figure out a way to break or destroy anything. All right, I'm thinking that I toss that 40 mic on those guys and I try to suppress them all, or at least get them down. I can use that action. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to take and spend one of my little counters here, my little 40 mic. Pop an action with Baker. All right, flip that over so I know it's used. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's take and randomly draw. I should have done this as I was drawing these guys. I was talking to the camera, and this game just makes me think of my old military stories from being in the Corps. So bear with me if I ramble a bit more in Warfighter than I normally do. All right, so for the first guy, he's targeting Stevens. These guys are targeting Baker, and this guy is targeting Stevens as well. So that's what I'm talking about. You just take and put the little counter on there so you know who they're going after, and it randomizes it. If one of your guys happens to get downed, gets killed, you'll just take and draw another counter to replace them. Okay, so I'm using the 40 mic. I'm going after these guys, and again, the M203 carbine, if I were to fire and burst, I could only suppress or kill one of those guys. But a grenade has the potential to kill or suppress all of them. So that's good juju right there. Now, their cover save is a 2, but it has a penetration of 1, which is going to bring it down to 1. So basically, I can beat it no matter what, so I'm not even going to worry about, well, we'll roll it just to roll it. Now, my kill roll is a 6 or an 8. So it's 6 at range 1 and 8 at range 2. You cannot fire the grenade at range 0, which is understandable. Those things, I'll tell you what, they'll go farther. I fired them before. They'll go farther than you think they'll go. And let's see, how far? My brother was actually the one that hit it accurately. I want to say he had it was 300 yards he hit it. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll have to ask him. But he was able to hit a tank out at the range at a real far range. Anyway, since I have the marksmanship skill on Baker, that's going to reduce that number by 1. So my kill roll for these guys being at range 1 is going to be a 5 or better. My defeat cover roll is going to be a 1 or better. So I've defeated the cover, so at a minimum, they'll all be suppressed. So let's take and hope for... Oh, what am I doing? I need to roll one more dice. I only had one in my hand. I need... Do I have any more D10s laying around? I know I've got some. Okay, here we go. Sorry about that. I needed one more for the roll. So I've got my dice here ready to go. 5 or better will kill. See what we get here. Okay, this isn't too... No, this is crap. We only killed one of them. Alright, so basically 1 KIA and 2 suppression. So it's not horrible. You got your little EKIA counters here. On the back side is the suppression. So you just take and mark them with suppression or EKIA. I'm just going to put KIA because I'll keep jumbling that shit up. So with 1 grenade, I effectively neutralized that card for this turn. Now 2 of those guys are going to come back at the end of the enemy phase. That's the good part, is it's the end of the enemy phase. So he spent an action. I've got 1 action left there, 1 action left there. I really want to take and put a hurt on this guy if I can, because he can do up to 3 wounds if he rolls well. So let's have Foster take, and we'll spend an action with him to keep track of that. And he's going to fire his M4, and he has a carbine, or he has a ACOG and the marksmanship skill. Okay, so with that, he's going to add 2 to his kill roll, which goes from a 6 then down to a 4 or better will kill. So that's good. This guy's defeat cover is a 3, so that's not great. We'll take and fire in burst mode because I really want to take and try to kill this guy, which means I'm going to have 2 dice firing. But again, if there were multiple targets here, I could only kill or wound or suppress one of them. It's not a grenade. It doesn't have the whole, hit everybody type effect. Okay, so let's take and see what we get here. All right, defeat covers. No, oh wait. 4 or better. Oh, this was getting ready to be bad. I got a 4, so I suppressed him at minimum. I was going to say I missed with everything. Okay, so he is suppressed. I was really wanting him killed. Ah. The good part about Foster, though, is he does have that 1 extra action. Let's see, if he fired at range 1 against this guy, he would need a 7 or better to kill. Yeah, let's spend another action and see if we can suppress this last group, or this last guy, and then we'll take and work on trying to pick off the suppressed ones. The good part is this area here, choke point, its reinforced value is a 0, and there are 0 point enemies. So unless I draw out a 0 point enemy, they will not get reinforced. So I have a turn I can spend plinking away at these guys and getting rid of them so I don't move into range 0 and take a whole bunch of damage potentially. Okay, so let's fire again. Same thing. We're firing at range 1, so it's not as likely, but not everybody can be a Marine and shoot as well as we did. Okay, wow. He is suppressed. We got a 10. We did not defeat the cover roll though. How well is that showing up? Looks like it's showing okay. You guys let me know in the comments if the bullet die. I just like using the little 9mm die. I would use the 5.56, but it doesn't go well with this. It'll jam up in there. But if it doesn't show up well enough for you guys to see and you want me to go back to the red 6-sider, just let me know and I don't mind switching. Okay, I got one action left on each one of my guys. I'm debating, do I move up? Do I go ahead and get some guys going forward? But I'd be spending an action. At least they're all suppressed. So I know I'm going to get another round of shots into them before they're going to come at me. So, yeah, come at me, bro. Do I take... I can't believe I just said it on camera. I'll leave it in so you guys can see how lame I am. Let's see. That's the thing. Do you move up or do you kill them? I like both. Both have their lovely potentials. Okay. I really want to kill this guy because he worries me a little bit. The hired muscle, because he can do some hurt. So, who do I want to shoot? Let's see. He would have... Foster could have a kill roll of 6. No, Foster has kill roll 4. Stevens has a kill roll of 6. And Baker has a kill roll of 5. So my best shot's going to be Foster. So we'll take the last action on Foster. And we'll have him fire again. And since he's got a little less ammo, I'm going to take and try to conserve it. I'm just going to roll the 1 die. 1 shot, 1 kill. We're going to sniper this crap and see if we can get him. Okay. Got the kill, didn't get the cover. So he's still suppressed and I'm out of actions. That's just unfortunate. I wonder if I can play anything that'll beat that. I doubt it. Add 3 to your movement value. Let's see, the movement cost here, entrance cost is 2. If Baker moves in first, that's going to be 0, so that's not bad. That's pretty good, actually. I cannot move out of that location if hostiles are there, though, so I really need to kill them off. Okay. Do I have any other card that will help me defeat cover? Because that cover is really messing me up. This is why I love having the weapons that have penetration built into them, because it makes it so much easier. DVG is going to think I'm trying to push their expansion. I mean, technically I am, because I like the game. A smart DVG put them better weapons in the expansion pack. Dan, see your game here. Okay. I'm just giving him shit. Let's take and fire at this guy. We'll take another chance on it. And since I've got ammo, I'm going to fire and burst. We're going to have Baker use his last action. Since he's got the best shot, I'm really wanting this guy dead. We're going to take and fire my M203, but it's going to be at range 0. He's got the marksmanship skill, so his kill number is going to be 5 or better. And the defeat cover again is still 3. So the 3 is what's killing me. Alright, come on. High number. Alright, 10 and 8. 3! Got him! Yes, right. Yes, so be dead. That goes back in there. Killed him twice. We'll set this up here. There's my little discard. Put this over here. And now, his number, you can see his number is 2 up there in the top right, right? That is how many experience points I get. And you're going to use that for some cards. Some action cards will have an experience point cost. And some you can upgun. Let me see if I can find one. Okay, here's one. Steady aim. Play when you declare a ranged attack. Add 2, and you see where it says parentheses 4? The parentheses 4 is the upgun. You can pay an experience point to take and upgun whatever action card it is and get the better result. So it is good to have those experience points, and you get whatever experience points for the value of the enemy you're shooting at. Since I've only got one action left, and it's not a very good chance, we're going to take and try to pick off one of these guys. This guy's got a defeat cover of 3. He's got a defeat. These group have a defeat cover of 2. No one's screened, so I'm not overly worried about it. We will have Stevens fire again in burst mode, so we'll roll 2 dice and see if we can take and pick off some more of these, because those guys can do some damage if they're not taken out pretty quick. Yep, let me flip my last action marker to remember I spin it. There we go. And get on. Okay, you defeated the cover. Okay, good. See, now this is one where I'm talking about I got a 7, 9, and defeated the cover with a 6. All right. So even though I would like it to kill both of these guys, because technically I got 2 kill shots, it only affects 1 because you're like firing just at one guy. You know, all 3 rounds from the burst went right into one guy. So he's dead. We were able to kill 1 card, severely wound another, and suppress that. So we did good. All our actions are done and spent. Let's see. I don't think anyone. You guys let me know in the comments if I missed a reload in there, but I was trying to watch, but I'm pretty sure I didn't miss any reloads on that. So I'm happy with how this turn went. Now the first thing that we're going to do on the enemy turn, since again I'm out of actions, is the reinforcement draw. I'm just hoping for no 0. Look at that. Damn it. Okay, so they got a thug, which means I'm going to take an attack. Reinforcement draw. He's going to attack. Actually, I'm not going to attack because he's got a range of 0. So he's just going to take and try to close range, which I can't remember if they can close range technically into high impact, like into your location card where you start. I'm sure it's in the rule book, but I'm going to just say they can for ease of the gameplay right now. So he's going to just move up for his action, because the way it goes is reinforcement draw, attack, and then close range. So he doesn't get an attack. He's just moving up to attack in the following turn. After your close range was when we remove our suppression counters. So now these come off, and these little SOBs will be able to attack in the next turn. I'm taking, draw this for this guy. He's going to be going after Foster. And the last thing that you do is take and move the mission timer. So we went from 12 to 11. So we've got 1 turn less to do it. I think I'm going to stop here because I'm probably about half an hour, 40 minutes or so. That's a good time for the video. We'll pick it up with turn 2 on or tomorrow. You guys make sure, and if you haven't subscribed and commented under the Gimpy's Game giveaway February Part 1, make sure you do that. I'm going to be doing that giveaway. What is today? I'm filming this at like Monday, so Wednesday is about the day I'm planning on doing the giveaway video. So if you haven't liked and subscribed, make sure you do that now so you can get your name entered. If whoever wins the first giveaway doesn't win anymore this month, you'll be eligible after that. But this month it's just 1 per person, so 1 person doesn't luck out and get everything. But make sure you just like and comment for it, and that'll be it. Anyway, you guys take care, and I will see you in the next one.